What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about BCHG, LTCN, and GSOL today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. This is not at the request of anybody. I'm just making a video. Oh my goodness. What the hell, man? That's cool. It's kind of weird, but I just noticed this. It's kind of like an inverse head and shoulders, isn't it? It kind of this didn't go deep enough, I suppose, and it's definitely not an inverse head and shoulders. That guy's got like a big head, but it's kind of cool that you're finding support right there. I don't know, it has that look to it. It's like the whole pattern is this inverse head and shoulders pattern, but don't focus on that too much. I'm a nerd. I think that's funny. Anyways. Bouncing off of the 50 on the monthly, looking good, right? I know this week so far can be a little bit discouraging. I really wanted to start the video off by saying don't get discouraged. I started it off a little bit different than that, but don't get discouraged by this, man. Yeah, you're still up 5.6% this week, actually, even though it's a red week. It can be disheartening when you see a nice pump and you give it all back by the end of the week. It can be disheartening, but sometimes around these gap zones, you get some screwy price action, right? It just happens. And as long as you're forming higher lows, you've got nothing to worry about, right? So I do think you probably continue to move down a little bit. If we look at the daily, you look at this daily RSI here, yeah, you got a somewhat of like a pretty even channel coming up, right? Nice parallel channel. You're at the top of it, right? Coming down, finding support right around the 50 makes sense, right? You've found support in this area before, resistance in this area before. It would make sense that you come down just based on the RSI. That would make sense. You don't have to go that low. It's just it would look nice, I guess. And with that kind of move, maybe you could expect something from a low to a high. Yeah, you're just below the 236, so moving down to about 783 where your 382 is there. That makes sense to me. It's very common on that first 382 attempt to go just below it. It is pretty common. But on powerful moves like this, on strong moves, and I would say it's a strong move, pulling back to your 382 is a very, very common thing. And holding support on it, I should say, is a very common thing. So don't worry about it. Probably moving down to 783. You're at 877 now in the short term, moving down a little bit. You guys know where you're going in the long term, though. In the midterm, you're moving up. I do think by the end of the year, you will be obviously well above this here. I think you'll probably see prices anywhere from 37.53 to 67.10. By the end of the year. I'm more prone to thinking that you'll be in this area by the end of the year than up at this area here, but I do think by the end of this move, you really could see that price target. So if 67.10 isn't hit by the end of the year or something near that, it would be very, very, very early next year, sometime in January, I would think. But it definitely makes sense that you'd find resistance somewhere in this zone. The 1618 being kind of the maximum given target. Because if we go back, you can see that is like where your current all-time highs are. So finding resistance there a little bit, consolidating around here before breaking out to new all-time highs, really, that makes sense. So I don't know. All in all, a little bit of a move down. You're still on the path, right? You're still on the path. And again, that low, I'm very confident is the low. And it's kind of funny that you got this. It's almost like an inverse head and shoulders look, but it's not. Actually, bro, whoa. Huh. You know, I don't know. I don't know if this is valid, because I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to take these on logarithmic. But doesn't that look like a nice cup and handle, right? Isn't that like pretty? Come on, man. Pretty perfect. It almost looks. It looks like a cup and handle almost. I don't know. Only on the log scale, not on the linear scale so much, but I think you can have cup and handles that look like this still. I don't know. That's a pretty big handle on the linear scale. I don't know. Either way, bullish in nature. I'm not worried about it. It's just for the time being, a little bit of downside, right? Less than $1 down probably, or about $1 down. Anyways, LTCN, Litecoin Grayscale Trust. Also with that same kind of look, finding support on the 123 moving average there. You're up this week, up 22%. That's nice. Is Litecoin up? What's Litecoin doing? Yeah, she's up a little bit, 7%. Nice. That's what you do on a 7% week. You move up 22%. I can't wait to see what happens when Litecoin really gets going, guys. Looks like it broke out, kind of back tested that breakout zone and then moved up. I remember saying on one of my last analyses that I wouldn't count this as the breakout point. I'd say that that was a fake out. We moved down, then we really got the breakout here. Back tested it. Yes, this is bullish structure. Daily RSI looks really good. Of course, LTCN looks really good. 22%. Good job, LTCN people. If the week closes here or higher, you've got a couple days left, you'll be above the 50, and that I think is a good accomplishment to have whenever working your way higher. If we're looking at the relative high to the relative low, nope, that's not the high. Relative high to relative low. And the shoe's kind of on the other foot. I feel like I normally say this to the LTCN people, but I'm going to say this to you, BCHG people. And if you're smart, hopefully you're one and the same. You have a little bit of both. But for the BCHG people, just because LTCN's moving up and yours isn't moving up as much, yours is not broken, right? They do their own things. It's okay, right? They don't move together in perfect unison. Overall and kind of general, yeah, their charts kind of look similar, but don't be disheartened, right? Everything's fine. They will move up together more or less in time. But good job, LTCN, up at the 382, finding resistance just a little bit above it. That's pretty common. Normally, I would expect that you'd pull back to the 236, but with all this consolidation here, I don't think you will. This might be one of those occasions where you actually consolidate at the 382 for a short period of time, and you just work your way right up to that 61869. That's nice, guys. And this goes along with kind of what I've been saying, right? LTCN really could be outpacing BCHG from here on out. And if not from here on out, just at given times, but this might be one of those times where it's outpacing BCHG for a little bit. Decent volume coming in, guys. Decent volume. That's not bad. I really think people are underselling LTC, and LTCN will help reflect that for sure, but time will tell. It looks good. It definitely looks good. What I would call for right now, just to stop beating around the bush, I would say that LTCN probably consolidates maybe, until like the end of the first week of November, maybe going into the second week of November, who knows, but probably for about a week, if not 2 weeks, something like that. So don't be too excited right now, and don't get discouraged if it's not moving, but I could be wrong. Maybe it only consolidates for a few days and then it continues to move up, but generally speaking, with these 382 consolidation phases, they're not long-lived, right? Like this was a pretty standard consolidation phase, I would say, right, for the amount of time you have there. This would probably be smaller. I wouldn't expect that you're gonna last this long. It's gonna be smaller, and then you'll move up to that 61869 area at 2766 to 3143 pretty soon, but sometime in early November, either the first week or the second week. And yeah, I'd probably think the second week. But anyways, LTCN looking good, definitely looking good. Yeah, love seeing that, man. I love seeing that just because, again, out of the two, LTCN's been the one that's kind of been beaten up a little bit more. So it's nice to see it come to life. And again, BCHG people, don't get disheartened. You're fine, right? Everybody's fine. It's all going to be good. I love seeing it. I didn't say anything in Ethan's Discord. Shout out to Ethan. Shout out to everybody in the Lions Investing Club. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. What is it called? It's let's see, EG Investing Lions. There we go. In the Grayscale chat, I've seen a few people talking about how they were discouraged with these Grayscale trusts, and and that they've stuck with it. They weren't sure about it, but this recent price action that's moving up is reinstilling or giving back faith in these projects or in these investments. And I love seeing that, right? It's nice. It is hard to go through these times to the downside, and it feels very validating whenever your patience is rewarded, right? I know some of you have gotten it at higher prices. Some of you might not be completely rewarded yet, but at least you're seeing the productiveness. You're seeing the light, right? It's not only are you going to make your money back, but you're going to exceed anything that you've lost, right? It's just a matter of time, and this will all seem like a bad dream at the end of the day, right? And I know there's plenty of you who got in way earlier, and you're not even worried about, you're not even in the red, but that's beside the point. Even you guys are hurting from your portfolio highs, so it's got to be nice to see some green. That's all I'm saying. I'm just talking, man. I'm just talking here. LTCN. Let's move on to GSOL and finish this bad boy up. All right, GSOL. On a daily basis, you're at 390. Kind of weird. It's such a weird chart, GSOL is. Let's look at SOL itself. Coinbase, bearish divergence, volume's dying off. Yeah, SOL probably moves down, probably back if not to like 160, maybe down to 171, you're at 175 right now. So it's not going to be too dramatic. Nothing crazy, right? So, but that could be a little bit more dramatic for GSOL from a low to a high. You're at 390 now. Something below 367, but above 325 is what I would expect. You could move lower and you'd still be fine. But if we put a line right there at the 618, that's coming into these areas of support here, and it's your golden ratio. The 382 itself, you skimmed it, but you didn't quite get there. So going there or just below it would make sense as well. Not really anything on the price action basis, but on the fibs. So yeah, something between like 367 and 325 is what I would feel comfortable with for GSOL. Probably moving down, and that's okay, right? Generally speaking, whenever you get above the 50 like this, you reach for the overbought zone, but you can't get there. You're finding resistance on the 60. Oh my God, hold on. Whoa, I had a big sneeze there. Came out of nowhere. Generally like this, it's not a good look. And then pair that with the fact that you're finding support on your 50, which is a good thing. But when you're getting good things happening and nothing's coming from it, that's a bad thing in disguise, right? So contesting the 50 a bunch of times, it would make sense that you come down a little bit. So GSOL probably on its way down again. What was it, 367 to 325, something like that. You're at 390. It's nothing bad, nothing that you haven't seen before. And with that, I leave you. So if you guys like the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. We're really close, man. This is like, I keep saying it, but I'm going to keep saying it until it's no longer true. We're at that last call where if you want to get set up for the upcoming run, the upcoming moves up, this is the time to do it. Maybe not for GSOL, maybe wait like a couple days, maybe even a week, maybe, I would say like a couple days, right? Let's just see how it goes. You'll probably be at more ideal prices, but regardless, even here, even at this price, it could be worth 445, and it's still a good time to get in relative to what's going to come over the coming weeks and the coming months for any and all of these projects. So hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.